Okay, and joining me on the line here on the studio is David Lee. Now, he's the creator of a podcast series about mental health that's entitled 50 Shades of Dave. First of all, welcome to Bolton FM, Dave. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, James.
Absolutely no problem. Now, I had a very small part to play in this, but why don't you elaborate on what 50 Shades of Dave is all about?
Well, 50 Shades of Dave is what I describe as a SADCOM podcast series. It follows the exploits of local radio presenter Rosie Barfield, played by Claudia Greer, and her ever-doting producer Neil Folding, played by Curtis Ledsham. So as they attempt to help a depressed caller, Dave, who makes contact with the show live on air. So the show, which is only 5 episodes long, focuses on mental health, but predominantly male mental health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is an issue that's under-addressed, as we all know. But I'm interested in the title. You know, that was an obvious nod to a certain series of books and films. Why 50 Shades of Dave?
Well, 50 Shades of Dave is an autobiographical tale, and it's take on my own life, really. And I often say that it's been 34 years in the making, really. So it deals with my own struggles with depression, anxiety and grief, and the series as a whole holds up a mirror to our society and asks us, are we doing enough to really listen to those of us who are desperately calling out for help?
Mm-hmm. I mean, as you know, I've had my issues as well. I'm sure some of the listeners will have today. Why do you feel this podcast is so important in this day and age?
Well, the statistics are there, and they're getting pretty hard to ignore, really. In the UK alone, 12 men a day choose to end their own lives, and 1 in 5 men die by the age of 65 through suicide. If this podcast encourages one person to have the courage to open up, then it will have served its purpose to me, and let's face it, if it encourages anyone to seek help, then it's worked. As I think we all need to discuss our feelings and open up a lot more.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. More than anything with something like this, it is very much about getting it out there in the open. And with this type of thing, you need to let people know what's going on with you. Now, with 50 Shades, what can listeners expect then?
Well, the listeners are in for a real treat. Not only will they get to hear their favourite Bolton FM presenter doing their serious acting there, that's you, by the way, they'll also be propelled really into an often farcical but really sort of deeply honest and heartbreaking rollercoaster journey of self-discovery, really. Okay. Now,
you say it's all about raising awareness, so how can people get involved?
Well, yeah, so we're asking fans, on social media to submit their stories with the hashtag #WeAreAllDave. So we're posting these every Friday, and it helps those who are struggling to get their stories across, really, as we all have a story to tell. So if anyone listening to this right now who'd like to participate, please contact us online directly. It's going to be me that picks them up. So yeah, please do get involved.
Absolutely. 50 Shades of Dave. It's going to be great. And where can people hear it?
Right, well, so the series begins on September 16th, 2019. So they're 1 episode per week. So they're all going to be released on podcasting sites, apps, etc., YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. So in the meantime, people can interact with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at FSODofficial, or by 50 Shades of Dave, or looking for the hashtag #WeAreAllDave.
Excellent. And alongside the 50 Shades of Dave, there is a theme tune that's been put together by Curtis Ledsham and Tom Sturgis. That's released on the 10th of September, isn't it?
On the 10th, yeah. That coincides with the World Suicide Prevention Day that happens every year. And yes, the single will be available to download. There will be cost to that, but the proceeds will go back to the community.
So all worthwhile. The whole thing very much worthwhile. And you know what? You sent me a copy of that track, so I'm going to play it after this. But for now, Dave, thank you very much. That is David Lee, the writer of 50 Shades of Dave. Thank you, David.
Thank you so much.